family is making an urgent application to rescind the Asset Forfeiture Unit search and seizure orders. The civil rights organisation Outa is fighting to be added to the case. eNCA's Nickolaus Bauer is reporting the story from the North Gauteng High Court. And you'll tell us, Nickolaus, good afternoon to you, that this is a case of stop and start today.
Well, indeed, the North Gauteng High Court has heard two very big cases today. We'll just touch on the Inspector General of Intelligence, Mtlemaru Dintwe, going up against the former Director General of the State Security Agency, Arthur Fraser. That case was not heard this morning in the North Gauteng High Court. It was due to be heard on an urgent basis. We don't know now whether or not it has been agreed behind closed doors for that case not to go ahead, or if it has indeed been reallocated to be heard over several days. But turning our attention to the Gupta case, this was also due to be heard on a urgent legal basis, with the Guptas trying to rescind that preservation order that the Asset Forfeiture Unit of the National Prosecuting Authority managed to have granted to them against the Gupta family and companies linked to them. And all we've had this morning is really just a case of stop-start with Outa, that civil rights organization and for undoing tax abuse, wanting to be added to the case as amicus curiae, if my Latin holds up there, basically friends of the court there. And essentially what is at hand here is not any of the goods that have been seized at the Saxonwold Gupta compound this past week, but rather the rehabilitation funds for Gupta-linked mines in Koenfontein and the Optimum coal mine as well. Essentially, Jeremy, what Outa is arguing for is that, seen as though the MPA managed to get a preservation order which included the rehabilitation funds linked to those two Gupta-linked mines, they should be added to the case based on the fact that they previously approached the court to try and get exactly that out of the High Court, a preservation order to prevent any supposed looting of those rehabilitation funds by the Gupta family or companies linked to the controversial family.
Nick, I'm just wondering, and you probably haven't heard this, but is there any more clarity on exactly what was seized earlier in the week or late last week?
Unfortunately not, Jeremy. We did have a list. There was a couple of aircraft that were seized. I'm now, of course, talking about stuff that wasn't actually seized from the Gupta Saxonwold home. But in terms of the actual nitty-gritty of a list of things that were seized during that raid by the Asset Forfeiture Unit, no, we haven't been able to get our hands on that yet. We do know that what was associated with them, one of the big item numbers on that was the rehabilitation funds that are linked to the Optimum coal mine, as well as the coal mines in Koenfontein. And Jeremy, I would predict that this matter will not be heard in totality today in the urgent court. As far as I understand, this may well lead to the case that the Guptas are hoping to bring before the MPA to get that preservation order rescinded. It is only going to be heard in late June, when the Outa case was then due to appear before the High Court again. So it's a case of delay. Hurry up and wait, and we wait to see what is going to happen when the court gets underway again after the lunch break at 2 p.m.